Hi there folks, look, I just took a look at my charts, and that full moon eclipse, the lunar eclipse that's taking place on the 30th of November, I was actually looking at the wrong house for most of the signs. So I just wanted to quickly go through. Sagittarius, the eclipse will take place in your 7th house of marriage, and that's very, very important because you need to be sensitive to what your partner is doing, what your partner's needs are, and so that on the 30th is going to trigger a whole new approach to the way you relate to your lover or partner. Sagittarius, hello, it's good to see you. I don't know why I'm doing the Italian accent. Maybe because the sun is in the 12th house. Have you been planning a trip, some journeys, connections with foreign places? That's possible. Up until the 22nd, apart from any journeys, this does have to do with your spiritual self. The 12th house of your horoscope is what we consider the low-key part of the horoscope. And I want to talk about that particularly this month, for the month of November 2020, for the simple reason that on the 15th, there is a very, very important new moon taking place in this area of your life. So the new moon is really a fresh start, a turning of the page so that a new chapter starts for you. You must understand that it's particularly spiritual for you because of the fact that it rules your 9th house. The 9th house is a very spiritual house. It also rules such things as legal matters. It rules such things as education. It rules the guru. If you're looking for a mentor, you may be seeking some higher knowledge at this time of your life. And therefore, this connection with the ruler of your 9th house and the 12th house is an all-important connection. Either the journeys that we're talking about, because 12th house, 9th house is foreign affairs, it's travel, it's immigration, but most likely, given the current COVID context worldwide, it has to do with the spiritual seeking. It's also a place of solitude. The 12th house position of the sun and also the new moon might be a transit that for you shows, no, I've had enough of all the hustle bustle, the madness, I'm going crazy. I don't know what accent that was, but anyhow, you know what I'm saying. It's a point in your life where you decide, enough. I've got to pull back here. I've got to give myself some time. I've got to find that space of tranquility within. And that, I think, is what's going to happen. Now, if you can do that, especially between the 1st of the month and the 22nd of the month. The reason I say 22nd, even though the new moon itself takes place on the 15th, the point is that the sun moves to your sun sign on November 22. That is when the period of Sagittarius starts every year. And being the vital, shining, healthy sun, moving out of that low-key 12th house into your sun sign, we call this that's why they say many happy returns. It'll be your birthday within that next month. For some of you this month, and then some of you into the early part of December. But the sun revitalizes you. It brings back that energy that you've been looking for. So my advice to you is that you need this downtime. You need to bring your attention within yourself rather than scattering your energy everywhere else. That is what I think the sun in the 12th house is, the new moon taking place in this 12th house is as well. Now the 5th house is also another important point I want to talk about this month, and that has to do with your past karma. The past karma planet for you, according to your horoscope, is Mars. And Mars is also retrograde this month, along with Mercury, which rules your 7th house of marriage and significant partnerships. Both of these planets are retrograde as the month of November commences. And that, of course, tells us that there may be some problems or some delays and setbacks in those areas. Mercury is far worse for you, ruling the 7th house. It is not considered a good planet. Mars is a very good planet. Therefore, ruling your 5th house, being retrograde, really activates and has been activating your creative energies. That is why, coupled with the advice I gave you on maybe staying a little low key, you have the opportunity to percolate those creative spiritual vibes and really, really produce some great work this month, Sagittarius. You've also got, just to add another little point to this, Ketu, or the lunar south node transiting through your sun sign right now. That's making you much more psychic, much more in tune with what's going on. You're able to read between the lines, get the sense of the undercurrent that's going on with friends, relatives, strangers. You can pick it right now, and you must trust that energy. Now, the more you withdraw and get into your own space this month, the more you are going to feel really, really tuned in and fine-tuned. It's an important point. Now, finally, because this is just a synopsis of the month, you can get more at the site. I'll tell you about that later. The full moon eclipse takes place in your 6th house. Uranus has been there for some time. We've talked about that many times, how that has been a disruptive factor in the specific area of your work locality, for example, and also has something to say about your health. The important thing here is that the moon is a very emotional planet, and it rules your 8th house, which is not the best part of your horoscope, but it tells us that you can't afford to be over emotional about how you deal with your work colleagues, clients, the people you're dealing with, business to consumer. These are the sorts of things that can get your knickers in a knot. And that is precisely also, again and again, I keep coming back to the point of why this 12th house for you is so important, this resetting of the energies and not getting drawn into all this over-emotional reactive process. To the extent you can do that, your work is going to be so much better, your relationships are going to be so much better. That retrograde Mercury goes forward on the 4th, which is nice and early in the month, so your communications are back on track. So it's an exciting month. I hope you just at least think about what I've said, because I think that's going to help you. And you can get more on this, as I said earlier, at astrology.com.au, at the website there, the daily, the monthly, the yearly readings, which are going to fill in all the little holes here that I haven't quite touched on. There's a lot more going on there, astrology.com.au. Don't forget, leave me a message if you need to. Of course, you must subscribe. That's all important. Otherwise, how does the channel grow? It's been great having your company. If you're new, I look forward to seeing you again next month here. Same time, same channel. Take care now. Be safe. Bye-bye.